Bez?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what was it like playing live with high notes?
Oh, I didn't play with high notes.
Oh, you didn't?
I played with my own band.
Your own band?
Yes.
Okay.
It was awesome.
Who's your band? I mean, I'm talking about the Hennessy thing.
Yeah.
Are you
I
serious?
didn't play with high notes.
Oh, okay, so...
He's the only artist who didn't play with high notes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so it's your best band or
They're not tagged.
They're not tagged, just a
Yes.
bunch of
Yeah.
people.
Exactly.
Okay.
They play for camp artists.
For what?
They play for camp artists, people who
Oh,
work with us here.
Okay.
Cobhams Asuquo and Bez.
So they play for Lara, they play for Bez, they play for me, they play for Joe.
Okay, cool. So what was the Hennessy experience like for you, since you were like the only non-hip hop artist?
First of all, it was a learning experience. The whole rehearsals we had before the main event, plus the event as well. Prior to that, I wasn't normally very free on stage. Maybe because I didn't have a band or something. But the Hennessy show brought me out. Brought out my true essence, and I saw that. And well, for the fact that I was the only different quote art from the rest of them, it was a bit of a challenge. First of all, I thought it would be what you call it, like a head start, But then eventually I found out that when we had the club events, they were, pulling more, But I did really good. I know, but it was just a good experience. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay. So did you feel like the best team won, or?
I wouldn't put it that way. I would say it was a deserved win.
Okay. So is there still a Hennessy relationship, or?
With Hennessy or with the artist?
With Hennessy, yeah.
Oh no, well, I don't know if they are hoping to do anything as regards events or anything. I'm very open to that. That's what I do.
Okay.
So.
And the other artists there?
Oh yeah, I knew most of them before the Hennessy thing. So there's always been that relationship, except for Blaze and Jimmy Films.
Okay. So now that that's over, what's next?
Next thing is where I'm putting out a single really soon, really soon. And then I continue work on the album, and I continue performing.
Have you decided which single you're releasing first?
Oh yeah.
Check. Okay, so for your album, which collaborations can we look forward to? Are there any at all?
Well, the album is still very much in working stage. And we're still putting ideas together, to get the best. So even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
Okay. So what's the creative process like for you?
Creative process. First of all, there's inspiration, there's writing, there's playing, there's recording. There's scrapping and starting all over again. There's exchange of ideas. It's a whole lot more than people think. So it's exciting. You see, that's the exciting part of it, the creative process. When you watch something from 0 to 60% and then back to 0 and then eventually 100%. That's the whole process. Very exciting.
Cobhams, you've worked with like everybody. Is the creative process the same with every artist, or does it differ?
Yeah, it's never the same with every artist. People relate differently, people express differently. And you always have to pace yourself to work with, it's like relationship management. You have to pace yourself to work with the artist or the person you're working with according to, their speed, and expectations and all that. So it's never really the same. It's never the same. But it always starts with inspiration. Good music is always inspired music. So that's it.
And so speaking of inspiration, Bez, you're always compared to Raphael Sadiq. Is he? Yes, apparently you've been compared to him a few times. Is he inspiration for you, or is it more like?
To be honest, I've not listened like much to. I think I've just heard like a track or so of Raphael. Yeah, you know. But funny enough, I listen to a lot of female artists like Amy Winehouse, Billy Ray, and the likes. You know, more neo soul. Yeah. You know, so, but I don't know. My inspiration comes from, I'll say, a higher force, which of course, at the end of the day, the higher force to come. But sometimes I can't explain how I get some things done. Like inspiration to write comes from my guitar. You know, when I fiddle around and get like a new tune thing, I write from there. Or something just comes into my head, or I push myself, you know, and I don't know. Yeah, well, basically.
Something happens.
Yeah, something happens.
Okay, so do you think that maybe your upbringing or your family or something has something to do with the kind of music that you produce?
Maybe not, because I was brought up listening to the Don Williams, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, mostly country, then Michael Jackson, which I think everybody listened to. Went on to listen to mostly country music. Thinking of it right now, mostly country music. So eventually I just grew into my own style. I grew to choose my own kind of music.
Okay, so you confess. Did you ever at any point try hip hop?
Try hip hop? Confess. Well, in secondary school, yes, I had a very funny song in secondary school. Well, it wasn't so much hip hop, but then it had vibes.
Okay, well, yes, we're done with it for now. It's cool. Okay, so Cobhams, why do you think, or do you think songwriters in Nigeria get minimal attention?
Songwriters in Nigeria get no attention at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think people pay attention to the fact that songs are written. They just know that songs come out, and songs are listened to and enjoyed. So yeah, songwriters get no attention in Nigeria at all. And that's a shame.
Yeah, probably because of the kind of music that seems to be so popular.
Every kind of music is written. Every kind of music is an intellectual property. Even if it's it's intellectual property, and it's an export material. I think it's so because we've not been sensitized enough, we're not aware, and because it is intangible property, and we are a society that does not have as much regard for intangible property, we don't pay it as much attention. So our value is, we value more the tangible things, more what you can see and touch and feel, but it's a non-material, in the physical form, element, or substance, whatever you want to call it. But then again, it's just as valuable. But because we've not been sensitized to appreciate it for what it is, we have the challenge of songwriters thrown way down to the back burner. But every form of music, every kind of music is written.
Okay, so what's the favorite song that you've ever written?
I don't know if I have a favorite song that I've ever written. I don't know. No, I've written songs. I've written loads of songs. I wouldn't say any particular one is my favorite song. Well, I have two songs that I do like very much, and I haven't I've not performed them anywhere as such, and I haven't quite finished them. One of them is titled "This Hair of Mine." When I wrote when I was looking for my comb. The other one was titled "Stupid Little Girl." And those are not songs I do just about anywhere and everywhere, you know. But I know I like them a lot, among many of the songs I've written.
Okay. So tell us about the transition from creating adverts to producing Nigerian artists.
There's never really been a transition. I've always done both. I still do both. I still create adverts and I still produce Nigerian artists. I create adverts to pay the bills. I produce Nigerian artists because I realize that my life has to give, my life has to mean, and I'm part of an evolving industry, in particular the entertainment sector in general, and we sort of dictate the trend, well, not just as far as entertainment goes, but as far as lifestyle in Nigeria is concerned. And so I love to produce artists. But there's never really been a transition of any sort. I mean, I've always done both, and I still do both.
Okay, so you're talking about giving. Are you currently involved in any charities or anything?
My whole life is a charity project. Because there's everything I do has a reason, and everything I do is a seed I'm sowing, I'm sharing with people. I'm having this interview with you, and I'm hoping that you leave here with something inspiring, with something different. I believe that every meeting is an opportunity to share something with somebody, you know, that impacts the person positively, you know. So, I mean, I think that's charity. Charity isn't until I gather a bunch of pressmen and go somewhere and donate stuff and make people see me. Charity is the little nugget I drop in people's lives, the things I say, with the music that I create, you know, how my music is able to positively affect your emotions, get you to think, the words that you hear, the beat that you hear, how it makes you happy. You know, that's charity. You can't pay me for that. You can buy the CD and all that, but you can't pay for the feeling. You know, it's deep and wide. You know, so I mean, for me, that's charity. But well, in the material sense of it, well, yes, there's a couple of things I want to do. I want to start I'm working on starting a reading club for blind people. How this works is, I want to have, well, quote unquote superstars come into the studio. One thing I know that, you know, is a challenge for blind people all over the world is accessibility, especially access to printed materials. And what I want us to do is to get printed titles, book titles, thousands of them, and just get people to come in, you know, voluntarily, sit down, you know, spend a few hours of their Saturdays and just read some of these books, you know, onto, well, machines or whatever it is. I mean, computers, make them available, not necessarily sell them, because we don't have the right from publishers to sell some of these books. So just make them available so that, you know, they can be audio books that can be, you know, read either in libraries or loaded onto iPods or MP3 players, or I mean, whatever it is, so that, you know, the blind community, as it were, is not left out, you know, because we're living in a world that's, you know, fast evolving, and there's so much that's happening, you know. I mean, you as a blind person, you don't get to read off a signpost, so you don't even know how very simple, basic words are spelled. And nobody takes, you know, notes. Nobody notices these things, you know. So for us, for me, I mean, that's something I really want to address. Empowerment. I'm big on empowerment. I'm big on knowledge, you know, and so hopefully we're gonna do that. But I mean, it's one step at a time. That's one charity project that I'm really, really, really interested in. And not just for blind people, actually. I mean, think about you going in your car and listening to a nice book read by your favorite artist. You know, it just makes you pay attention. Or think about your textbook read by your favorite artist or something. I mean, it's that little edge. You know, it's done all over the world. You know, we don't take advantage of stuff like that in Nigeria. So, well, that's something it's a project I want to embark on, God willing, but I'll make sure that I have all the right resources and everything to step into it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Is that sufficient?
Yeah, okay.
Fabulous, thank you.